This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and it is great to be joined by the new EBU European champion, Gamal Yafai, over Zoom. Gamal, first and foremost, Happy New Year. How did you find the festive period and, of course, your New Year's in what is difficult times?
Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, it was all right. Not the same as it normally is, but yeah, it was good. And I didn't. For me, it was just to spend time with my family and my little one as well. So yeah, it was good.
Now, obviously, I imagine you had a buzz kind of around yourself throughout the festive period because of your win only about 8 or 9 days before Christmas. Just take me back to your victory over Luca Rigoldi, Gamal. Just reflect on your performance for me first and foremost.
Oh, you know what? I haven't. I haven't been really buzzing off it. To be fair, obviously I'm European champion and whatever, but it's one of them. It's just been laid back with it. Just kind of, is what it is. I've just got to be back in the gym soon, and cracking on, because I just feel like, because it's been a long time out of the ring and I need a bit of momentum now. That was bloody 50% of me the other night. So yeah, obviously I'm in the driver's seat, but I've still, got things to do, and I'm ready now.
Effectively, from listening to you there, Gamal, was it kind of a fight where you just felt like a long time coming, and that's why you maybe haven't had that same buzz? Because if it wasn't for your injuries, if it wasn't for the McDonald defeat, you'd have effectively, in your eyes, had already picked up the EBU title and you'd be further along in your career.
Nah, not so much that or the defeat. It's because I'm over that. I just feel like, don't know. It's mad. It's just I won't be happy till I win the world title, I suppose. You know what I mean? And I'm the only thing I'm happy about is being back out fighting and not being injured, mainly. Not being European champion, and I could be number 2 in the world. I ain't gonna be happy till I'm the top boy. And it's mad. People don't understand what I've had to go through, the demons, and just like been sitting at home not doing nothing, literally bored at my face, not being able to train. That's a thing. People don't understand what actually happened. So obviously we go back to September 2018 when I fought in Birmingham. I ruptured my butt. I spoke to Eddie just before, and he said to me, "You can fight in November in America." So I said, "All right, then, wicked." So went out there, fought. I boxed not anyone good. And I ruptured my bicep in the 3rd round, and I thought, bloody hell, nightmare. So obviously, luckily I knocked him out. I knocked him out with my left hand, and then got out, whatever, had an operation. But at the time, I just had my son at the time, and I just bought a house as well. So just bought a house, had my son. So I was kind of like paranoid. I need the income. But good job, I had a lot of savings at the time. But most of it was going on the house. You know what I mean? So and I just put a deposit down for my house and whatever. So it's a bit of a nightmare. And then so I had an operation on my arm, and then I was back training probably February time, and then January time I was, and then Eddie said to me, "Okay, you can fight in April," because I was made mandatory a good while ago for the European title, a good while ago. So this was back then. So I was mandatory back then, and then Eddie answered, "You can fight in Italy," because it would, supposed to fight up a bit more. The European champions from Italy and whatever. So I went, all right then, sound. And it was April the 26th. I was meant to fight, just to get back out there and then fight for the European title. The week before my fight, I'm sparring, and then boom, my bicep goes again, and that's my other bicep, not the same one, my other one. And I was like, no way, rupture my bicep again. What a nightmare. And obviously, funds are low at the minute. You know what I mean? I've been out for so long now. I'm like, bloody what? I couldn't write it. So obviously I've had to have another bicep in operation. Then what we in then April. Then before we know it, COVID comes along. I'm out for 4 or 5 months again. Then I fight in Manchester in November, just a normal fight, and and then COVID come along. I was meant to fight in March 26th, just gone, and COVID come along, and I went to America with my brother, trained out there for a good while, had good sparring, I was prepared, very good, and then bloody that COVID come along, and I remember being in America waiting for Cal fighting Gonzalez, and Eddie said to me, like, the fight don't think would happen. Then I have to wait another 6 months for the fight again. So it's been a nightmare, trust me. I just got to it got where bloody hell, man. Like I'm fresh. I feel like a young kid, like literally, yeah. But still, like I'm 29. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I feel like I could go on forever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it was like, bloody, I'm just sitting here, like, not fighting. I've got 2 arms now. Eventually, I've got 2 arms. And there's no fights going on in the one, I think. So it's been a mad one, man.
Just before we move on to what could be next for yourself, Gamal, because you said previously, just reflect on your win over Luca Rigoldi for me.
Yeah.
Victory, unanimous decision. Just tell me about your performance.
You know what? I remember getting in the ring and that, and it felt mad. It just felt mad. Like I was really ring rusty. I might not have looked it, but I was definite. Like it did feel a bit mad, and I wasn't. I just boxed with a game plan. What obviously, my trainer was saying to me, like, normally I'm a lot more vicious, and I would have probably been a lot more aggressive, but I just boxed with a game plan. In the fight, I actually felt like I was winning comfortably. You know what I mean? In the fight, I know when I watch it back, it's probably a bit closer, but I was, the clear winner. But yeah, I just like, maybe I could have been a bit more, like you say, my selfish and that. But that will come. I've been out for a long time. I haven't been in a big fight since Gavin McDonnell. You know what I mean? It's like you say, it's I need to get a bit of momentum now, and I'll just be better now. I'll just be better, like my defense, and then as we get a few fights behind us, I'll be sound.
What did you make of the experience in Italy with any travel restrictions or kind of little steps that might have been in place that you had to kind of over? What was it all like?
Yeah, it was a bit of a, he was definite. It was hot. It was a matchroom show. I think it was a co-main, but yeah, I was a away fighter. You know what I mean? I was a away fighter. Don't get me wrong, matchroom, like, we got looked after and whatever, but like some of the things I wanted to, like with the gloves situation, we had a nightmare with the gloves. They wanted me wearing their gloves, some big gloves, some big Leon gloves. So yeah, it was a bit of a complication with that. But other than that, it weren't too bad. It was just a COVID situation. Like, you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything. You were getting tested every other day. You know what I mean? It was just a nose, man. But it was just one of them. It is what it is. Had to do it. The pressure was on me. I got kind of win this fight, and then I'm in the drama seat. I can defend here in the UK, and that's that.
Final thing on it, or waiting for the scorecards to be announced, especially when you hear the first one being so wide in your favour. Were there any concerns that the judges wouldn't put it into your way and you wouldn't be crowned victorious?
Well, obviously, like I said, in the fight, in the last round, I thought I had the fight 10-2 to me in the fight, 10 rounds to 2, and then I went back to the corner. I said, they can't rob me to Cal. And he goes, nah, I've got it 180, 110. He said, don't worry on that. He goes, but you just never know, man. Like, you just never know with these Italians, man. And then he's like, nah, they can't, man. They can't rob you. And when they did say the first scorecard, I thought to myself, that's me. There's no way he can win. There's more chance of me winning 190, 109 than him winning 190, 109. It was, when I watched the fight back, I had it 9-3. I had the 9 rounds of 3. I did when I watched it back. There was a close round where I thought I'd nipped the round, but maybe if because it's in Italy, yeah, they could have given it to him. But I just give it to me because I did think I won the round, and it's one I had it 9-3. But obviously, if you did give it him, then it would be 116, 112, which isn't, you know. But yeah, I did feel like I had to do more when I was in there. But I just thought I'm landing big shots, and to me, the big shots that were kind of hurting him as well, and having effect on him, where nothing of him was having any effect.
You move forwards, Gamal. You mentioned you've got that title now. You can defend it over here. You will be somebody who will be headhunted a little bit now. You'll be somebody who people will want to fight and name a game for everyone to kind of chase. With that in mind, what has Eddie said to you about your plans for 2021?
Well, I spoke to Eddie a few days. I spoke to him that he messaged me a few days later. He just said that you're fighting the spring, defense like, but obviously with all this COVID and whatever now, they're playing catch up a bit with the shows, and so I'm guessing it will be late spring. I'm guessing, you know what I mean. But I don't mind. I just want to fight. As long as I know I'm fighting, I got, you know what I mean, got something to look forward to, and it's not kind of like where I wasn't the champion before, so it's kind of like if the fight don't happen, then I'm in no man. I'm kind of not in no man's land, but I'm like I've got nothing to bring to the table. You know what I mean? But now I have something to bring to the table. I have a European title where, like you say, it's kind of European champion. I could sit on that if I wanted to, but I'm not. I want to defend it. I want to work my way up the world rankings. That's the main thing. Getting in them top 10 world rankings, and then I can hopefully fight for a world title.
There's something I was going to ask you about. Have you got anybody in mind, or have you discussed anybody that you would like to defend your title against? And how far away do you feel you are from the world scene?
I do feel I'm a bit away from the world scene, definitely. I think don't get me wrong, I think I'm good enough to beat them type of kids, like on my day and that, but I just think I just need momentum. I just need momentum now and to get better. And I will obviously be fighting. We're fighting regular. Obviously, I've gone from fighting 2 to 3 times a year to 0 for 2 years. So it's like bloody hell. So like, even my last fight, I wasn't really happy with my performance, but I got to give myself a bit of credit as well. You know what I mean? Where I come from, the stuff I had to go through, to travel away. You know, I know people say, "Oh, traveling away is, you know, it's all right. It's a boxing ring and that." Because I used to think like that. It's a boxing ring. You can, you know, it doesn't matter where it is, but it does. it is a bit different. So yeah, but like you said, I just want to fight. With the defense, I don't know. I have to, whatever match and come up with. Eddie, it's all Eddie Arm, but I don't mind as long as honestly, and yeah, I'm not bothered who I'm defending against. I just want to fight, and as long as I'm fighting regular in these top fights, yeah, then I'm happy, and then I don't mind, because at the end of the day, I'm getting paid good money to defend my titles. What more can I ask? And I'll be working my way up the world rankings. So I think it's a perfect scenario to be in.
Just moving forwards, Gamal, just touch on your brothers. Obviously, Cal getting ready himself, waiting for a date, kind of ticking over at the minute. What is the plan with Cal?
Obviously, there's talks of fighting in spring as well. But you know, he's back in training in the next couple of weeks. He's been training over Christmas, obviously, but I mean, he'll be back up Sheffield soon. So yeah, he'll be ready to go before you know it. And obviously, Galal is back at Sheffield now, training and whatever. And it won't be long before he's going the Olympic qualifier and continue where he left off.
Just before I let you go, Gamal, I just want to get your thoughts on a couple of fights which also happened over the festive period. When you fought, and obviously this past weekend. Just start off with the one fight which happened a couple of days after your own. Canelo versus Callum Smith. I know you've got a very good relationship with the Smith brothers. Just reflect on it for me and Saul Canelo Alvarez's unanimous decision victory.
You know, like you say, I like Canelo, known him for years and whatever, and I'm just being honest. I didn't think Like, I thought if anyone was going to beat Canelo, it would be Callum. But even then, I still thought no one will beat him. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. He's so good. I watch him all the time. I do, Canelo. I'm always in bed watching him. I think he's unreal. I think he's just a joke, and it showed because Callum's very good, man. Callum is very, very good. So he's one of our best. So like for him to do that to Callum Smith, just shows how good he is, and he's the elite. You know what I mean? He is the elite. And it baffles me. You know what baffles me is anyone that don't have him their pound number one. You know what I mean? So like anyone that don't have him their pound number one needs to give their head a wobble, man. It's insane, man. Like Crawford is class and that, but how are you gonna put Crawford number one in your pound rankings? How are you gonna put even Errol Spence number one over bloody Canelo, who's resumes is just a joke. You know what I mean? He's going up in weight, beating these top kids, and they're not just like kind of finished fighters. You know what I mean? They're the top fighters, and he'll run out of opponents. He will. There won't be much left. Who's he got left? Billy Joe. Billy Joe, really, ain't it?
You got another champion, 168.
But,
and if he wants to move to 160, or if any 160 fighters move up to
yeah. He'll fucking be out right soon. When he fighting Joshua in fucking 2024. He's beast, man.
One name which did come up, and not saying that people thought that he'd beat Canelo, but maybe might be his stiffest test if it did happen, was Artur Beterbiev. At 175, what are your thoughts, Beterbiev versus Canelo?
Well, I've seen Beterbiev over the years as an amateur, and he's a handful, man, and he can punch. But the only way he's going to win that fight is if he just knocks him out, really. And yeah, he's probably got the power. But I say that he's got the power, but every time I see Canelo gets hit with anything, he don't even bother him. It's like even Golovkin shot to Golovkin was catching him with. Really, like, did any of them bother him? He just walked through him. And obviously Beterbiev is a bigger puncher, but I'll still be expecting Canelo to win that fight. You know what I mean? But yeah, if there is anybody that should be beating him, Beterbiev is the man.
Moving forward to Gamal and onto the final topic. Fight this past weekend, Ryan Garcia stopping Luke Campbell, another man who I know you will know well alongside your brothers. Just your thoughts on their fight?
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. I'll man up. I didn't think he'd do that to Campbell. I never thought he would do that. I thought it was mad how the odds were that wide in Garcia's favour. I thought Campbell should win, and if he don't win, it's kind of it's a fight he should be winning. Where it's the other way around, like everyone thought, if he wins, it's a shock. Where to me, it was kind of like, if he wins, it's just like, so he should be winning. You know what I mean? Like against someone who's inexperienced and whatever. But he just showed he's up there. He's going to be a star, and he's a star before because of his following and whatever. But he'll be a bigger star now. Just think, like you say, Campbell just didn't have the power to really put a dent in him. He was landing early on and whatever, but they were kind of like, you could tell he had, like you say, in this program, power's a big thing, and he was just like, he weren't kind of bothering Garcia, where Garcia was hitting him, and you could tell he was like kind of, and it come to like, maybe Luke Campbell should have jumped on him, you know what I mean? But it's one of them, he didn't look that. Do you know what I mean? He did, like, he went down. The knockdown was quite like, oh, bloody hell. But he got up and he seemed like, he seemed good. And I could see why Luke never jumped in. Maybe he should have. You know what I mean? It's one of them. Maybe should have, but he didn't. And he probably thought to himself, listen, I can't jump in with a puncher because he's still there. And he was still there. He did seem, he recovered quick.
Just one thing I want to get your thoughts on, Gamal. Luke dropping Ryan in the second round. One of the judges actually still scored it a 10-9 round instead of a 10-8.
A 10-9 round, did they?
One of the judges still scored it a 10-9.
That's what I'm saying with fighting away, ain't it? That's just the way it is, man. When you're fighting away, you ain't getting no, like, you know what I mean? You got to win the rounds clear. And even when you put them down, it's a 10-8 round, that is, isn't it? It's automatically a 10-8 round. And you got these fucking mad boxing judges who ain't got a clue. fucking scoring it 10-9, but the scorecards never mattered, obviously, but still, it's like, if the fight had gone all the way and it was close and he won 130, 112 like the fight before, then you'd be screwing, wouldn't you? Because you'd be like, fucking, that it could have been a draw, and then they would have had a rematch and they would have made a lot more money or whatever. You know what I mean? Things like that, man. These judges ain't got a clue sometimes. I mean, I'm glad they're good to me, though.
Gamal, obviously, there's a lot of talk about what could be next for that division. It's stacked with some brilliant fights for the coming years. You've got Teofimo Lopez, Vasyl Lomachenko still knocking about, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, obviously, Shakur Stevenson if he moves up. I apologise if you've missed anyone, but there's some brilliant fights.
But
Kevin Haney. What would you like to see next?
That's what baffles me as well. Yeah, Lomachenko don't get talked about as much now. Yeah, but it's a joke how good he is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know Lopez beat him. You know what I mean? Lopez did win the fight. I did think he'd win, but it was still a close fight. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's mad how people like, you lose a fight and that's it. You just forgotten about. But like Lomachenko, I'd put near enough my house on it that he'd beat Garcia. You know what I mean? Like, it's mad, but yeah, I think I'd like to see Haney and Garcia next. I'd like to see that. I feel I'll probably edge towards Haney. But you know, it's a close fight. I think that Lopez is just ahead of all of them. Wow, too good for all of them. Like, and I don't want to hear that Garcia mentioning Davis as well, because that Davis would put him asleep. He wouldn't have seen it if he'd put him down in the second round. That would have ended there and then. He would have just jumped on him and finished him. But yeah, it's good. It's a good card, man. It's a good division. Good, you know, proper stat. And hopefully they get to fight all of them. But I don't know. Don't see any of them fights happening soon.
Hopefully we do get to see them, though, Gamal. Obviously, boxing politics have to be worked out around that all. But yes, it's been great to catch up with you, mate. Enjoy the rest of your time off until you are back in the gym and getting ready for your next outing. Appreciate your time as always, and thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
No problem, Andy. Hopefully we'll catch up soon, innit?
Top man. Cheers, Gamal.
Take it easy. See you later.